crush on my brother's best friend. We're gonna call him Pedro. One day, my brother and Pedro had a plan to go to the beach together, and then Pedro invited me. And I was like, let me check if I have something to do. I don't. I'm gonna go, Pedro, don't worry. The night before, I was like, I need to look scandalous, like so scandalous. So I remember I wore this two-piece bathing suit. So long story short, the day came and we went to the beach. So we get to the water and immediately I go in. I wanted to show him, like, I'm a bra girl. Oh, this is the best part. So I'm coming out of the water and I'm trying to look like a baddie. Like, I'm trying to walk out all cute, like the hair is wet and everything. And I noticed Pedro was looking at my legs. So I was like, maybe he's trying to shoot his shot. So I went to go tell him something. And I was like, why do you keep looking at me? And he was like, look at your legs. I look at my legs. There's a whole ass piece of poop from the beach water.
Story time about how my boyfriend and best friend were sneaking around behind my back. So a little background information, I was 15 and in 10th grade. So my mom and dad were split up and I was pretty much allowed to do whatever I wanted because of that. So I was dating this boy named Jacob. Well, my best friend Alice literally hated him. Like low-key, every once in a while, she would try to break him and I up. And when I would call her out on it, she would just deny it. Anyway, so the one day I didn't go to school because I was super sick. So the whole day I was trying to text Jacob and Allison, but nobody was answering me. Which was extremely weird because no matter what, Allison would always text me back. So after I knew the school ended, I went to Allison's house. Nobody was answering the door, so I used the spare key. I walk in and all I hear is a very loud banging coming from her bedroom. So I walk in, I see my boyfriend and her together, and then he starts saying that she drugged him. So I went on his phone, I see a bunch of old text messages between him and her, and them exchanging pictures. And then sis wants to start giving me an attitude, so I punched her in the face, and then I left and I don't talk to either of them.
We're talking about how my mom pissed me off, so I slept with my dad. Okay, so boom, let's jump right into it. My mom is 26, my dad's 36, and I'm 13. And yes, she had me at 13 years old. To be quite frank, my mom is a very jealous woman, specifically jealous of me. You see, I'm quite popular in school, I get lots of attention, and I love it. But every time I go home, my mom wants me to do chores like wash the dishes, clean the yard, and vacuum the carpets. I hate when she does this because why should I have to clean this stuff? This not my house, I was just born in it. But she wants to, quote, instill good ethics in me, whatever that means. But the kicker is every time my dad's home, I get anything I want. Any food I want to eat, any gift I want, and he even gets me out of chores sometimes. If you ask me, my mom's jealous of our bond. Because sometimes when she sees me sitting on my dad hugging him, she would at those moments tell me to do chores. And unfortunately for her, one day it worked. I was sitting on my dad watching a Netflix movie and eating good. Here comes my mom coming home from work telling me to go do the dishes because it's full. This got me so mad. Why do I have to do chores? And that's when my plan started. I was going to sleep with my dad to get back at my jealous mom. Like for part 2.
Storytime about my extremely creepy neighbors. So a little background information, I was 12 years old and I was in 6th grade. And my family and I lived in a really small town where everyone knew everyone. But our new neighbors had been building their house next to us for the past 4 years. And finally when they were done with the house, this house was huge. I mean, probably because there were like 8 people moving into the house. There was the mom, the dad, 4 kids, and their grandparents. So like 8 people. But I was super excited because I was like, okay, this is awesome. I get to meet some new friends. But after 2 weeks of not seeing anybody playing in the backyard or anybody on the school bus, I started to think that their family was super fucking weird. And everyone in our neighborhood liked to gossip, and everyone was saying how they barely see the people who had just moved in. So my mom decided to take one for the team and make some brownies, take them over to the house, and I ended up going with her. So we go up to the house, we knock on the door, and one of the kids came and opened the door, but the dad ran over and grabbed him, like for part 2.